This message may be shocking to many millennials. If you are one, you might want to sit down. Right now, loads of people are searching the following on Depop: low-rise jeans, halter top, velour tracksuit, puka shell necklace, disc belt. You likely placed these in the dark of your closet in 2004, never to be seen again. But if you can find it in yourself to dust them off, there are a lot of people who will give you money for them. Sell on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
This Valentine's Day, the UPS Store certified packing experts are helping pack and ship all the ways we care. From the lovey-dovey XOXO gifts for your Galentine's gal pal, even pet gifts for doggy dearest. When you ship UPS Air at the UPS Store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Send your Valentines on time at the UPS Store. Visit theupsstore.com/air guarantee for full details. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Susan LoPresti Wellness, Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, the go-to space for midlife and mature women who are ready to reclaim their health, boost their energy, and live long, vibrant, and purposeful lives. Each week, we dive deep into natural wellness, holistic healing, anti-aging strategies, and healthy lifestyle habits to help you feel your best physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Whether you're navigating menopause, working through chronic conditions, or simply wanting to age gracefully and intentionally, this show is your sanctuary for science-backed insights, powerful stories, and soul-nourishing inspiration. If you're a woman over 40 or 50 or older looking to thrive in the next chapter of your life, you're in the right place. Today's guest is Kaitlyn Schneider. She's the founder and head of innovation of Aeston West, a prestige skincare brand rooted in science, elevated by story, and driven by purpose. Trained as a biological engineer, she brings a rare blend of technical fluency and aesthetic instinct to the beauty industry. Her early experience at Theta Harper deepened her understanding of how chemistry, sustainability, and systems thinking intersect in modern skincare, an approach she now channels into Aeston West innovation strategy, where formulas are designed to perform at a cellular level and reimagine what luxury skincare can feel like. Without further ado, Kaitlyn, thank you for coming on today. Welcome to
Thank you all for
podcast.
joining
I'm
today.
really
I
excited
hope
for our
you enjoyed this
conversation today.
episode.
Thank you so much
If
for
you are
having me. I'm
interested
so
in
excited to talk
trying
today.
Oh,
East
you're
meets
very
West,
welcome. I'm
go
excited
to their
hear all
website.
about
It's
your journey. And I want to start actually talking about your journey, your personal and your professional journey.
www.aestonwest.com.
Your background
You can
as a
see their products
biological
there
engineer
and
is really
purchase
quite
right from
unique
there.
in the
If
beauty
you know of
industry. So
anyone
having
who
your
you
path
think would benefit from
into
listening to
that
this
and what you're
episode,
currently
I would
doing.
love it if you could
So
share
I
it
started my
out with
career
them.
as an engineer because I've
Also,
always had a
if you're
passion
not currently
for
subscribed
getting to the
to
root
my
cause of
channel,
things, seeing how
please
things
be
break
sure to
down,
hit
how you build them back
subscribe.
together, build
And
them back
until
together
the
even
next
better.
time, be well,
And that's really been
stay
interesting to me
happy,
forever. I've
and
loved the
bye for
sciences,
now.
loved
Take
math.
good care.
And that's where I started working as an engineer for many years in sort of a traditional space. But the other side of the coin, I've always really been passionate about people and the arts, etc. And so I was looking for a space that really had an equal balance of both the highly technical with the highly artistic involved with people every day. So in my journey as an engineer, I started doing more research into the medical world, products that people interact with every single day, and really combine that with my personal love for skincare that I've always had. And so it actually felt like a pretty natural fit because skincare is sort of the ultimate combination of the highly technical, highly researched with, artful things that people use absolutely every day, right?
Right.
And so I was excited to bring my perspective of exactly that, finding root causes, finding great solutions to a space where I could really hopefully help people.
Okay. So what inspired you? And it's called Aeston West, is that correct?
East and West, it's a little bit.
Easton West. Okay. So Easton West, how did your time at Tata Harper influence your vision for this brand?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I started my skincare journey, the first brand that I worked for was Tata Harper, and that was really such a great experience. And I was lucky to work for a brand with such high standards right out of the gate. Of course, you know them as a very clean, very green brand. And so right from the get-go, when I worked in skincare, I knew that I was going to set the expectation of, sustainable products, clean products, good for you products that also had results. So what I took from that to my brand now is exactly that high standard, but raising the bar even further. So for me, it became all about exactly that. How do we make sure that the baseline of our brand is clean, green, all of those good things, but that we build upon that? Because from my perspective, a clean beauty brand should just be a beauty brand, right? It
Right.
should be the absolute baseline of what we're expecting from our products that we're putting on our skin, on our face, again, every day. So again, it really set that baseline standard really high. And then we grew from there to really combine that artistic, something you're excited to use, something that feels amazing on your skin with real results that you'll see quickly and get to the root of what maybe some of your skin concerns are.
Yeah. So the brand operates at the cellular level. So can you explain what that means in terms of how your skincare actually works?
Absolutely. So the skin is a really interesting part of the body, right? It's so visible, it's something you see every day, but it's highly technical in how you interact with it. And yeah, as anybody who's been on a skincare journey knows, it can be challenging to manage. And
Mhm.
so I found that in my own routine, I had products that were for hydration, I had products that were for, smoothing, for brightening, etc. But that, really I wanted all of those things. And if I wanted all of those things, not only did I need a 10-step routine, I needed like three different 10-step routines. And beyond that, I found that the second I stopped using a product, those results immediately went away. And
Mhm.
so for me, working on this brand, working at the cellular level, what that actually means is, of course, we all want results today, right? You want to be able to wake up in the morning and present your best self when you leave immediately, but it also means your best skin tomorrow. So really, again, working on that root of visible signs of aging. So again, your skin is made up of multiple layers. So we operate at the cellular level on the top layer and lower layers as well, so that not only the most visible skin is getting improvements, brightened, etc., but the skin right behind it is improved. We've also developed our own proprietary technology, which is actually a nanovesicle system, so real nanotech that is able to actually fit between your skin cells and reach your skin cells directly to deliver all these great ingredients so that it is able to not just sit right on top and see that surface level result, but see those deeper, more meaningful long-term results.
So what are some of the claims that are being made? Like, does it help with mature skin? Is it more for a younger woman, or
Yeah,
is it across the board?
great question. So when I started working on East and West, I always had a more mature lady in mind, mostly from my own personal experience. She's always been somebody who inspired me, and she is my mom. She's my mom's friend. Yeah, I'm an only child. I always grew up with these very inspirational women around me. I always loved that they were women who had taste before, AI.
Yes.
Really active women. But when I looked at the market for products for them, they were really uninspired. They felt like they didn't align with these vibrant women that I was seeing every day. And so I always had sort of the Gen X baby boomer demographic in mind when I was building the brand. And we actually spoke directly to a really large population of those women to find out, what are you really struggling with? What do you really want out of your products? And that's where this was born from. The other thing to keep in mind too is, so much of the industry is so youth centric.
Yes.
Great. Of course, younger women want great skin as well, but your skin changes over time. So of course it becomes frustrating when a project or a product marketed towards maybe a 16-year-old isn't working for you in your 40s, 50s, 60s, but that's because fundamentally your skin has different needs at that time. So our brand is focused on an older demographic and the skincare needs for her. That being said, of course, we have really fantastic ingredients, and our goal is to address that root cause. So if this is something you wanted to share with your daughter, it would absolutely be, fine for her to use as well. But the core is focused on, drier skin that you have over time, maybe some of that loss of elasticity. And again, the whole idea is this idea of root cause, which is this prolonged inflammation in the skin. And how do we address that so that you do see these multiple benefits over time?
Right. And do you feel that, and I'm sure you're going to say yes, but I wanted to touch on a mature woman. Some women you see and their skin looks radiant and beautiful at a certain age, and then other women look really tired looking, dull, saggy in a way. Do you feel that diet and lifestyle contributes to that?
Absolutely. So you guessed correctly. I definitely am going to say yes to that. The thing that I think most people miss out on is the fact that your overall wellness is really a health system, right? And your skin can actually be, of course, something that makes you feel confident and looks beautiful, but can really be an indicator of larger health as well. And so really we want to look at our skincare as something that is part of a larger system of diet, of exercise, of all of these other things that are healthy and good for you, because they all kind of work
Hydration
together.
too.
Hydration,
Yeah,
drinking water, absolutely.
yeah.
And speaking of, I do get that question a lot. It's like, why do some women age differently over time? And that's why we've focused on this system of repair and protect, right? A lot of brands or a lot of products focus on just that protective element, which is extremely important, right? This idea of, stop a wrinkle before it happens, for example.
Hmm.
But what if you've already maybe seen some damage? Maybe you have some sun damage. Maybe you've already experienced a little bit of discoloration, a wrinkle, a little bit of loss of elasticity. We don't want you to be left out. And there are ways to address that. So we have a two-part system so that we can prevent further damage, but also work on deeply repairing anything that you might have already seen rise to the surface.
So do you have like an entire line, like a cleanser, moisturizer, toner? What are your products?
Yeah, so we have a three-piece collection. We have our Cellular Magnolia Cleansing Nectar. We have our Cellular Marine Treatment Mist. And then, of course, we have our Cellular Signature Serum. It was important to me that it was a really tight collection, only 3 steps, because really what I found in my research with all of these women is one of the biggest barriers to entry is, what products am I supposed to be using? Am I supposed to be using 12 different things,
Right.
right? So I didn't want to make that barrier to entry quite so high. And frankly, you don't need to have such a large routine. The focus is typically, everybody knows that ingredients are really important, and that's where a lot of the focus when shopping gets placed. And it is important, right? We have a huge focus on ingredients as well. But the sort of sleeper way that people miss out on the skincare goals that they're looking for is properly using your products and regularly using your products, right? The best product in the world that's sitting at the back of your medicine cabinet untouched isn't plumping anything, right?
Right.
So we wanted to make it as streamlined and intuitive as possible.
And I actually love that idea because I know if you go into a department store, the cosmetic department, and there's a skincare line, they're pushing so many different products. Well, you need this cleanser, and then you need this toner, and then this is for the daytime moisturizer, and this one is for the evening, and this is your eye cream, and this is for your lips. And our life is already complicated and very busy. And so it becomes overwhelming. Plus, it's very expensive generally to get into all of those products. And sooner or later, you just get tired of doing all of that and you fall short, and they end up, like you said, in the back of your closet. So I love the fact that you have three main products, which makes it very simple and very easy for women to stick to, especially, in the morning when you're rushing out the door and you're waiting for one application to dry before you put the other one on. It just complicates life even more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My goal was never to, hold anybody hostage in their bathroom all morning, right?
Right,
Trying to figure out
exactly.
your routine. And to that point as well, the real goal of skincare and personal care and self-care is well-being, right? To feel better, to look better, to feel healthier. But piling on this stress that is a daily stress is quite literally the opposite of that, right?
Yes.
So I found that there was such a mental load added when you had products that you didn't understand, that you weren't sure if you were using correctly. You felt really bad about yourself when you weren't using them. People were kind of beating themselves up about it, like, oh, I forgot to wash my face last night. And I just really wanted to remove that. Like, it should be fun, it should be simple, and it also just shouldn't be such a big part of your life, right? It should be something important to you, of course. We encourage you to, do your routine twice a day, but it shouldn't be taking up quite so much mental space, right?
Right, exactly. Where do you see skincare innovation heading in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Absolutely. I really love this question. It's important, there's a lot of brands out there, there's a lot of products out there that feel very one lane, right? Focus on one thing. But as we've already talked about, wellness is really holistic and it's all a total system. So I think that most brands or the industry in general will start focusing really on that root cause, which is where we've started ourselves. So instead of going out quite so broad and ending up with, 15 different product lines. Again, we've all seen the anti-aging line and the vitamin C line and the hyaluronic acid line. It's like the reality is we want the results of all of those things without quite so many steps to get there. So I see it becoming much more holistic, partnering and inspired by diet as well, things that impact your hair, impact your skin, can impact your body, can impact you internally. So combining ingredients and really having your skincare inform your diet, inform your, exercise and movement routine rather than staying in quite such a single lane.
Right. Now, do you see women these days more interested in the ingredients being clean, or do you find that a lot of women just care about what the results are promising? Because I'm all about clean skincare, but I just wonder the majority of people today, what do you see more of?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think that the good news is the fact that we've even mostly heard this term clean skincare means that the industry as a whole is making progress.
Yeah.
I find that in general, when you're doing your search, people are really interested in clean, sustainable, etc. But in your heart of hearts, of course, we're investing in skincare. Because we want results.
Hmm.
The cleanest skincare that's not making any noticeable changes is really not caring for your skin, right? It's kind of a moot point, which is again why my goal was to make that clean element an absolute no-brainer so that you didn't have to feel like you were choosing between.
Right.
So I think that people are very interested in clean beauty and making the right choices for their own skin, but really are not interested in making sacrifices. And I wanted to make sure that you didn't have to.
Right. Right. Because I know that in Europe, there's so many ingredients that we're using here in the US that are banned. that are not allowed. And a lot of women are just interested in what the product is telling you your results are going to be. And they don't really care about what's inside of it at times because they're more interested in the result. But actually, a lot of these products are really aging you quicker because the ingredients are unhealthy for us. So,
Right. It's a great point. I mean, speaking of the EU, we took a page out of that book as well. So all of our products do already align with EU standards. And it's a great point, right? If you're in Europe and there's these standards of ingredients that are banned, you don't have to worry as much about looking for clean ingredients
right,
because they have to be clean, right?
right,
So we took a page out of that book. But in terms of ingredients that can age you, it really, again, it's a great point. Not all of them are necessarily bad ingredients per se, but some of them are really short-term focused, right?
yeah,
It's giving you great skin today. I think a really good example of that is some exfoliators, right? Exfoliation can be really, really great and is not necessarily full of bad ingredients. But sometimes you kind of get this narrative that you should be kind of scrubbing, car buffering your face every day, and then it turns into something that can have a really negative effect. And that's why I always say this proper application is really, really important. So, not only using the right ingredients, not only using them every day, but properly using them too. So, for us, again, it was important to not rely on really harsh ingredients that could have that negative impact on your skin barrier and see sort of that detrimental long-term effect. So we balance both these sort of calming, soothing, sort of the anti, if it's burning, it's working POV, again, while also expecting really strong results.
right. So, what do you see next for your company? Any innovations or upcoming launches that you want to share?
Absolutely. So we did just launch our first line, which is our Cellular line now available. And we plan to really expand into, again, that what I already mentioned, that holistic wellness side of the world. The last thing I want to do is, of course, introduce you to a routine and then immediately jerk you over to another routine. And now we've created confusion. So we're focused on, for example, the body is something that's really interesting and has some of its own differentiated skin needs compared to the face. I think that there's some interesting crossover again with dietary. Won't say too much there as well, but lots of opportunity to go, I think, even a little bit deeper rather than just continuing to expand out.
Yeah. And where can women find your products?
Absolutely. We are available on eastonwest.com. It's AESTONWEST.com.
Okay, great. Very good. Would you like to leave us with any final thoughts today?
Absolutely. My overarching note on skincare, again, you've all heard how much I love the technical side of it, but it's really at the core something that's meant to enhance your life, make you feel better, make you feel fantastic. And if you find that your routine is creating more stress, more frustration, it's not doing that. And that's a really important element. So making sure that that routine is additive to your life rather than subtractive, I think is something that can't be overstated, right? Wellness is really important and holistic, and you should feel good while you're doing it.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm looking at your skin and it glows. So it really does. I mean, your
Oh,
skin is
thank you.
beautiful. So you make a great spokesperson for your brand.
Thank you. I use Easton West.
Yes, you do. Do you ever see your brand going into department stores or branching out to different areas, or do you think it'll be just online?
Of course, we would love to expand to be even more accessible
Yeah.
to our clients and potential clients. So it's retail expansion is definitely something we're interested in.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Kaitlyn, this was a great conversation. Thank you for coming on. I wish you the best of luck. I love what you're doing. And I think it's very important for more and more brands to be clean because it's important for us. We all want to look beautiful, we want to look healthy, and we need to stay healthy. And if we're putting the right ingredients on our skin and in our body, we stand a better chance to live a long, happy, and beautiful life.
I could not agree more. Thank you so much for having me on today.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you could think of anyone who could benefit from listening to this episode, I would love it if you could share it out with them. Also, if you're not currently subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe so that you know the next time I drop another great episode. Until the next time, be well, stay happy, and bye for now. Take good care, everyone.